Hey y'all, Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, and I know you're watching this video on our Chat Sports YouTube channel, but I wanted to remind you or maybe give you guys a heads up. We also have a Baltimore Ravens YouTube channel. We're actually trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on that. In fact, we only need 99 more. So if you're a diehard Ravens fan, or if you just want more content around that team, then what I want you to do is go ahead and check it out. You can see the link below. That's going to be in the description. It's actually also going to be in the comments section, youtube.com/RavensTV. Hopefully you subscribe. What's going on, Ravens fans? Coming up here on today's video, we're going to get into the latest rumors around Baltimore, plus the top 5 free agent pass rushers that the Ravens could sign before training camp. The reason why we're talking about this is because there was an article from Bleacher Report released today, every NFL team's biggest hole to fill before the 2021 season. Edge rusher was picked for the Ravens, which doesn't really surprise me all too much considering the fact of some of the players, some of the pieces that they lost this offseason. But the real question is this: will they actually go out and add an edge rusher? Because one thing that I will always respect about Baltimore, their ability to be able to bring in linebackers and be able to bring in edge rushers and turn them in and be successful right away has always been something that every single NFL organization out there has admired. But before I get into some of these players, before I let you know what Bleacher Report had to say on why they went ahead and made edge rusher the biggest weakness, true or false? Edge is the Ravens' biggest team need as it stands right now. If you believe it's true, then go ahead and type true. If you believe it's false, then go ahead and type false. So here's what Bleacher Report had to say on the Ravens needing an edge rusher. The Baltimore Ravens lost top edge defenders Matt Judon and Yannick Ngakoue in the offseason, leaving a lot on the shoulders of Trent Murphy, who is 32 and hasn't had a 5-sack season since he was 27. They also go on to say Tyus Bowser, who has been held to three or fewer sacks in 3 of his 4 campaigns, and Calais Campbell, who has declined as he enters his mid-30s. So in terms of losing Matt Judon, of course, that's going to be a big-time loss. He's coming off a little bit of a down year considering some of the numbers that he was able to put up in 2019. But anytime you're going to lose one of your, I'll say, top defenders, one of your captains on and off the field in Judon, who had 50 tackles, 6 sacks, 10 tackles for a loss, I can understand you saying, okay, that concerns me a little bit in terms of an edge rusher. But you also go ahead and mention Yannick Ngakoue, who signed a 2-year, $26 million deal with the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, he kind of came halfway through the season, but another player who still had 8 sacks last year, 11 tackles for a loss. And in terms of what Baltimore does great is being able to find some of these players that can stand up, play linebacker, and if you need to put your hand in the dirt, well, that's exactly what Ngakoue did. Here's, again, some more quotes here on why edge is the biggest need, according to Bleacher Report. They did use a first-round pick on pass rusher Odafe Oweh, also known as Jason Oweh, but he may need some time to develop after a 0-sack 2020 season at Penn State. In terms of where was the best play for Oweh to end up going at in terms of any NFL team, I'll actually say the Baltimore Ravens because, sure, you are 100% correct that he did not have any sacks last year at Penn State, and the Nittany Lions definitely are coming off a little bit of a down season. But Oweh is a freak of nature in terms of athletic ability, and if I want to find a outside edge rusher, a linebacker type that has the athletic ability that this young man has, I want him to go to Baltimore. Finishing up here with how they decided to round out this article, there's at least plenty of depth on the edge with Jalen Ferguson and rookie 5th-year pick Dalen Hayes joining the committee, but that front office would be smart to attempt to get a late summer discount on an established player. So before we get into some of these free agent targets, if you will, I want you to be the GM, okay? I want you to think if, should the Ravens go out and sign an edge rusher, training camp, y'all, it's right around the corner, and going ahead and bringing a player this late to the game, it might mix a few things up. So if you think yes, they should, I want you to go down in the comments section right now and type Y for yes. If you're like, you know what, Mitch, I think this team's good, I like the people that they have in place, then go ahead and type N for no. I'm going to go ahead and type Y for yes because there are actually some good names out there, and I'll get into my top 5 here in just a sec, but also the Ravens have kind of indicated to us this entire offseason that this is a team still looking to go out and building on that edge position. They've introduced certain players, they've had guys come in for workouts, and we've broken a lot of those players down here, but at the end of the day, if that team still believes that they need somebody, you got to think about it. And they do have the money to be able to go ahead and bring one of those players in right now in terms of overall cap space. They're sitting at about $8.8 million. That's like right in the middle of the road in terms of a whole bunch of other NFL teams. I don't believe anybody out there is going to cost more than $8.8 million, nor should they go ahead and pay anybody more than that type of money. So if they do go ahead and make a move, guess what? We're going to go ahead and make a video about it. It's what we do here at Chat Sports, and it's what I want every single person to expect from this YouTube channel. So we're going to give you guys news, rumors, and analysis like I'm about to give here on some of these players that the Ravens could go out and sign. If that interests you, and if you always find yourself looking for free videos, I promise you, you're not going to find another channel like us giving you guys interactive shows, and believe me, we go down in the comments and see what you guys are saying. So if you want to stay up to date on everything going on around the Ravens, go ahead and subscribe. Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, ready to get into the top 5 free agent edge rushers out there that the Baltimore Ravens could potentially go out and sign. So the reason why I wanted to go ahead and do this is because, again, Bleacher Report, they decided to say, hey, the biggest need right now for Baltimore is edge. So I wanted to maybe give you guys some opinions or some players on who they could go out and get. At number 1, the best edge on the market, it's Justin Houston. Coming off a season where he had 25 tackles, 8 sacks. This man has actually played in all 16 games back-to-back years, has had at least 8 sacks in his last 5 seasons. In terms of what you're going to be able to get, a reliable veteran that can also line up on the edge. At number 2, I'm going to go Olivier Vernon. If he's healthy, he's number 2. Obviously, when you're talking about a player who's 30 years old coming off an Achilles injury, that scares you a lot. It's one of the reasons why the Browns decided to probably move on from him, create a little bit more space for somebody like Jadeveon Clowney. But 9 sacks, 13 tackles for a loss last season. At number 3, I'm going to go Trent Murphy here, another player who's a little bit older, bigger guy, 6'6", 260 pounds, 19 tackles, 2 sacks, 4 tackles for a loss. He's just kind of like this tough, gritty dude, and it's one of those players that I think a lot of Baltimore Ravens fans out there would fall in love from. Could he be a little bit better as a pass rusher? Yes, absolutely, especially when you're talking about the last 2 names that I brought up. Here's the name, a little bit of a veteran, number 30, or at 33 years old. It's Everson Griffen. When you talk about the people who've been able to create the most quarterback pressure since 2016, Everson Griffen's actually in the top 5, which is pretty amazing. Coming off a little bit of a down year, 33 tackles, 6 sacks, 8 tackles for a loss, but another player where he's might be looking to cash in one more time, maybe has another 2 or 3 years looking left in him, but he's also going to be looking for a title. Everson Griffen would be a fun pick. The last guy I'm going to go ahead and bring up here is Adrian Clayborn. 12 tackles, 3.5 sacks last season with 5 tackles for a loss. Another player getting up there in age at 33 years old. So here are my top 5 free agent edge rushers as it stands right now. Justin Houston, number 1. Olivier Vernon, number 2. Trent Murphy, number 3. Everson Griffen, 4. Adrian Clayborn, number 5. But it wouldn't be a Chat Sports show if I didn't ask you, out of those 5 guys, who do y'all think they should go out and pick? And speaking of 5 guys, I am freaking starving right now. Let me know your favorite burger place down in the comments. But type JH if you think they should go out and get Houston. Maybe you're a fan of Olivier Vernon, type OV. TM for Trent Murphy. EG for Everson Griffen. Or AC for Adrian Clayborn. This one, to me, is actually pretty easy. I'm going to go out and get Justin Houston. It's actually been one of the reasons why the Baltimore Ravens have been linked to Houston this offseason. The other reason why I would go ahead and do it is because I do believe there's a clear tier break. The top 2 edge rushers on the market were Justin Houston and Melvin Ingram last week. But Ingram, he just signed a 1-year, $4 million deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So coming off a year where he didn't have any sacks, he had 10 tackles. Now, a lot of people would probably say maybe Ingram deserved to get a little bit more money. I would disagree with those people. If you're telling me right now Ingram got 4, why can't Justin Houston get $5 million, $6 million? As long as it doesn't go over that, and as long as you don't get too close to that $8.8 million cap space, as far as I'm concerned, Baltimore, pull the trigger, go get Justin Houston.